to this segment of the program of the National Profile Political Interactive. Today we have a gentleman in the house, a gentleman, a tested and trusted son of Akwa Ibom State, a very successful career civil servant, grassroots politician, and a fine public administrator, a peacemaker, a visionary, and of course, a bridge builder, former Secretary Traditional Rulers Council, former Secretary of GPC, former Commissioner for Local Government, and presently Honorable Commissioner for Rural Development in the state. Join me in welcoming Chief Barrister Akpabio.
Thank you.
Chief, you are welcome.
Thank you.
How has it been? How is the year? How is the year?
The year started on a very good note. I use the opportunity to wish every Akwa Ibom person a very happy, bountiful, prosperous, and fulfilling year 2014.
And what's your focus? What's your focus for the year?
My focus, I'm a public servant. I serve in the state, and even at an individual level, my focus in this year is to be a better human being, is to improve upon myself, upon the circumstances around myself, upon the quality of my service to the state and to humanity. Those are my visions for the year.
Now, how do you feel?
Because I believe there's always room for improvement.
Yes. How do you feel do you feel very fulfilled sharing in the dreams of uncommon transformation? How has it been working with Chief Godswill Akpabio? I know you've been with him right from his days in the local government when he was Commissioner for Local Government. And you must have had a lot of lessons and to at least facilitate vision in the administration. And
for me to sit down here and begin to talk about my experience with His Excellency Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio. Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio is a textbook, a voluminous textbook by himself. And by the grace of the Almighty Father, 2 years ago I did a work, which I wrote a book, which I titled Lessons in Leadership, which I presented. And I also did work recently, which I dedicated to him, and I titled it that creating a first world state in a third world country. Because to me, that is what he has done. That is the pathway he has shown in Akwa Ibom State. And if you talk about my experience with him, essentially I've served him for close to 12 years now, at a very close range. I was the Secretary of Akwa Ibom State Council of Chiefs, part of which was when he was the Commissioner for Local Government and Chief Affairs. And as soon as he finished all that to become a governor, he appointed me Senior Special Assistant and Secretary of FGPC. FGPC is a body which registers contractors and manages major projects in the state. He found me fit to appoint me a Commissioner for Local Government and Chief Affairs in 2012. And in 2013, precisely June 2013, there was a cabinet reshuffle, and I was moved to the Ministry of Rural Development, still as a Commissioner. It is indeed a big privilege, a profound privilege, to serve somebody who is obviously called into service. It is a big privilege. And for somebody to be privileged to serve in that capacity, one owes gratitude to the Almighty Father for the privilege, and owes eternal gratitude and debt of gratitude to His Excellency Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio. Because if you consider the number of the population of Akwa Ibom State, we are close to 5 million, going by statistics. And then out of 5 million, one could pick few people out, and you are one of those few. That is a big privilege. It's a big privilege. And we have learned a lot. Voluminous lessons. Here is a man who has a vision, who has love, who believes in service, not work. You say in work, you work within time, but he believes in service. He believes that Akwa Ibom State can be better, and he goes headlong for it to make Akwa Ibom State better in all ramifications. I always like to tell people, and I still say it, that he has performed beyond his mandate. Yes, he must have promised the people of Akwa State maybe he will improve education, but he has gone beyond that to give free compulsory education. I don't think he promised us flyover. Even if he promised, it must have been one. But he has gone ahead to do 5. I don't think he promised us the number of bridges he has constructed in Akwa State. I don't think he promised us. He must have promised maybe a library. He did it, but he has gone beyond to do that. You see, that is what makes it uncommon. Uncommon means that he has beaten human imagination. His performances have beaten human imagination. It has gone beyond expectation. That is why it is called uncommon. And therefore, for those of us who are privileged to serve under an uncommon governor who has performed so creditably, we owe eternal gratitude to him. And we owe eternal gratitude to the Almighty Father for linking us to serve him.
Yeah. And I believe you must have learned a lot of lessons under his tutelage. What are the lessons? Big
lessons. I've said I've even written a work on it. Lessons in leadership. It's public. It was launched some years back, and it was presented here in the same studio. And April last year, I also did another work, which I presented to Akwa State community in Lagos. It was a big event, which had in attendance people like the executive director of Exxon Mobil, Edomin Oil, and the event was chaired by people like Dr. Emmanuel Kuem. And Akwa community, they came in their large number to receive it, to celebrate His Excellency. And I was there as a guest speaker. It was on that occasion that I presented that work, that it is possible, and what His Excellency has shown and has done, he has created a first world state in a third world country. So what he has done is that he has acted as a pathfinder for the rest of the states in the country to follow. Okay. And albeit we have heard people from outside the state, important personalities from outside the state and even outside this country have testified to the fact that he has acted as a beacon for the rest of the states in Nigeria.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, you've been with the Traditional Rulers Council as Secretary and Secretary of FGPC. You must have had some best and challenging moments during that time. Can you share your experience?
Well, it's normal. Without challenges, they cannot have achievements. Because to me, challenges, the level and the attitude to challenges determine whether you are successful or not. We've had challenges, but it's good to talk about how we were able to use the position first to key into the uncommon transformation. Because the challenges are normal. And the challenges were not isolated. Challenges were the regular challenges you find in such a situation. We were able to use that position as Secretary of FGPC to ensure that, to contribute to the fact that Akwa State received quality services, quality delivery for its money. The issue of why we don't have abandoned projects in the states, by the directive and instruction of His Excellency the Governor, we were able to implement his directive and instruction to ensure that we lay the foundation that contracts are not abandoned in this administration.
Okay, and it links you to a very familiar terrain when you were Commissioner for Local Government. What were the legacies?
To me, it was really like homecoming when I was posted to Minister of Local Government and Presidency Affairs. It was really like homecoming. You know, I had previously served in that place as a Secretary of the State Council of Chiefs for 8 years. And part of it, I served under the Governor. And so when I was appointed a Commissioner and posted to Minister of Local Government, to me it was like going back home. So I resumed work almost immediately. Most of the people, it was ironic. Some of the directors who were supposed to even brief me, I was briefing them. Because some of the issues they wanted to brief me were issues which had emanated at the time I was there.
Yeah.
So I would tell them, no, this is what was happened. This is what was done. This is what was done. This is how it's supposed to be done. Yeah.
Okay. Now in the rural development, Minister of Rural Development, which you are now, what are those challenges that you have seen in the ministry, and where are you taking the ministry to now?
Yes. The Ministry of Rural Development is a very strategic ministry. Very strategic. And it requires, you see, in the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, you were dealing mostly direct human beings. You were dealing with traditional rulers, the management of traditional rulers. But in rural development, you manage the facilities at the rural areas, notably rural electrification, provision of boreholes and water supply.
Okay.
You know, you take care of the slippery hills in the communities, the farm routes, and all that. Those are the issues which are the ministerial responsibilities of the Ministry of Rural Development. My focus is that, look, so much has been done. His Excellency has done so much for the rural areas. We don't even write about them. We've not been able to capture most of the things he has done for this state. In terms of the number of villages which, if you go into these villages, even how to get to these villages, it's a big problem. But the government of Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio has been able to penetrate into these villages. The challenge now is how to ensure that these facilities are well maintained. We have the challenge, you see that, for instance, you still have issues where transformers in communities are vandalized. You see, and you begin to wonder why. Things which are provided for the community, to provide life for the community before you go in, we receive reports of transformer vandalization every day. People steal even cables and other electrical materials. These days, the substations which we build in the rural communities, we now have to devise means of even ensuring that we build concrete to hide the cables. Because people do go there, cut the cables from the roots. These are the issues which we experience on a daily basis, and we receive these reports. Each time we receive these reports.
Now, what are the strategies? What are the strategies that the ministry is using to cope these excesses?
One, for this year, we intend to really energize, reactivate what we call rural community maintenance units or bodies, organizations. We would challenge the development organizations in the respective communities, the youth organizations in the respective communities, because I believe if there is a transformer in a particular village, nobody from outside will come and cut or vandalize the transformer if without a link.
Within.
That is our belief. Because if you value what government has done for you, you will preserve it, and we owe a duty to preserve these things because they are provided at great cost.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. If you are just tuning in, my guest is the Honorable Commissioner for Rural Development, Chief Barrister Akpabio. Is here to update us on very, very sensitive and vital issues which concern the ministry and, of course, the polity. Chief Barrister Akpabio, as an illustrious son of our nation, there have been so many complaints and opinions have read on the pages of newspaper that our nation is not faring well in this administration. As an insider, what is your stake and what's your reaction on this?
Let me draw attention to this fact. Every community, the beauty of democracy is that every community is always complaining. Every community must always agitate for one thing or the other. Every community. Even you as it is now, if you go and ask somebody in Uyo, along the street of Uyo, say, what are your problems? They will tell you they will still have problems which they will highlight. So to me, it would not have been peculiar in terms of Oron. But there are people who are not really from Oron now, who are really making the story to be too, adding different colors, different dimensions to the story. Yes. Like the biblical hand of Esau and the boys of Jacob, that they always say. it is going on. There are some people who believe that, look, we want to use the opportunity to act, to cry more than they believe. Yes, a lot of people, like every other community, they can still say, they can complain. But as of now, as I speak with you, there are people who have penetrated in and are pretending to cry more than they believe. They hide under the issue as if it is oral speaking. But actually, we know that people who read between the lines. For instance, somebody recently wrote a letter, say, Oral Solidarity Vanguard, and gave address as a beach, Oral Beach. Can a beach be an address of an office? And the names of the names used in writing these articles, we names people who are non-existent. If other people want to write, want to complain, other people are known to be courageous, fearless human beings. They will always write and indicate their names. So most of the write-ups you see, when people write and they only say it is from other, but they are not. They don't indicate their names. They are not from other people. If they are not, some of the write-ups are not from other. Some. But just like every other community, which is normal, in most communities, even if you go to the street of the most developed country, people still complain, oh, government has not done this. It's obvious. But that of Oro, as of now, we have known, those of us who have studied it, that some people have penetrated, the people who are not from Oro want to use Oro as a mask in order to express their bitterness, their perceived bitterness against the government.
All right.
And in any case, His Excellency has really done excellently, has done well for our nation. And from our nation, has done well for our nation. The last time we had a minister, our nation had a minister in this state, in this country, was between 1979 and 1983. That was the last time our nation produced a minister. Since then, the only time we came to produce a minister as a nation, our nation, is during this government of Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio, where we had the Professor Batiwa. And as I speak, at least His Excellency has made it known that he has made efforts to ensure that the next minister will also come from Oro. I'm not competent to mention the name and all, but he has indicated that is that education. Okay. Roads, rural roads in Oro were also listed for tariff, excepting that in the course of execution, we ran into some technical hitches. But those technical hitches are gradually, because the Excellency is committed to it, dedicated to it, those technical hitches are being cleared. Okay. Yeah, because he has made a statement and he has lived the federal promise that those roads, rural roads, must, urban roads in Oro must be well executed. And those works are, most of them have been completed, and the work is still ongoing.
What of the spread of interministerial projects?
Well, the issue of interministerial projects, incidentally, I'm not here with the documents. The issue of the number of projects done and executed across the states is usually a public information. That one, anybody can go through it and see.
Okay.
Yes, it is a public document. It is normally published, and it is published by the Interministerial Direct Labor Coordinating Committee. They publish it daily, so anybody can go through it.
Okay.
Ever since the Interministerial started commission project in 2008, there is no time that they want to go and commission projects that local government areas in Oro will not be among those to be visited with commissioning.
Okay, Commissioner, in the area of zoning, His Excellency has pronounced the zoning to a senatorial district in the interest of equity, fair play, and justice. Of course, there are some opinions also have it that it should not be that way. What's your reaction?
Well, you see, God has given us a leader in the person of Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio. And we have to follow a leader, because it's specifically called for that purpose. You see, we don't have to ask and provoke the leader to act like the biblical Moses to break the tablets. The good news is that Chief Dr. Godswill Akpabio is somebody who is always able to contain every situation. No level of provocation has ever made him and will ever make him to break the Mosaic tablets. He won't break it, despite the level of provocation. And he has given a direction in the sense of justice. He himself is a product of justice. He emerged out of justice. He has given a direction that he should go to that the next governor of Akpabio State is coming from Eke Senatorial District. That is the message for now. Okay. And we should have confidence in him. He has not yet indicated that, oh, it is Mr. A. He has spoken at various occasions that he will not do any imposition. He has spoken about it. That he will not do any imposition. You see, His Excellency is a product of justice. He will go by justice. He knows it. He will go it. So let people have confidence and trust in what he's doing. We don't have to put words into his mouth. Jump beyond what the leader, God-given leader, is doing. His emergence as a governor was uncommon because it wasn't beyond. It was beyond human calculation and manipulation. His emergence was uncommon. So what I say is that uncommon emergence is uncommon emergence has led to uncommon transformation. And for the cycle to be complete, his succession will be uncommon. So we are going to have a common emergence leading to a common transformation, which will be rather off with a common succession. Let's have confidence in him. Let's not push, let's not preempt him too much. He is well guided. He's allowing himself to be guided. He's a product of, God has a strong hand because this state is named after God. So it is God that chooses the leader. And he is chosen as the leader of this time. And as a God-chosen leader, he will definitely abide and obey the voice of God in choosing the successor. Let's have trust in him. Let's not provoke him. Because this distraction of even reading his mind, reading what he would think, not even his present mind, or reading what he would think tomorrow. Because that's what some papers and newspapers, journalists write. They even write about what he would think tomorrow, not even what he think about today. We should allow him that level of calm. You see, I tell you one thing about it. I draw this story from the Bible. When it was time for David to choose a successor, David did not choose a successor by himself. He allowed God to choose for him. And His Excellency Governor Godswill Akpabio would allow God to choose a successor for him. It was God who helped, who directed David to choose a successor. It is in the Bible. Despite the triumphs, despite the aberrations of Adonijah in the Bible, it couldn't triumph. When it was time for David to choose a successor, it was purely from a spiritual perspective. To such an extent that, sorry to say it, to such an extent that even David was known in the Bible, sorry to say it, was known in the Bible to love women. As at the time it was time for him to choose a successor, the Bible records that, and David knew her not. So which means the choice which David made was directed by God. It was purely a spiritual matter.
Yeah.
So we should allow God to direct and guide our Excellency. We should not start to provoke him.
We have a text message here from Mr. Charles. You know, your Honorable Commissioner, thank you. We know you to be a level-headed gentleman. We really commend the initiative. But we have a problem along Ekpanya Road of Ikpa Road. Our transformer has gone down. Is it still part of the problem?
Okay, please,
Ekpanya.
Please, even after I finish from this studio, come with a letter to my office.
Okay.
But we always advise transformers, because when we install the transformer, the people who manage distribution of electricity is NEPA. So we always require recommendation of NEPA. I'm sorry, PHCN.
PHCN, okay.
Yes, once they recommend. But even before that, come to my office, and I have the Minister of Rural Development is blessed with a team of engineers. 17 electrical engineers are working there. And I will detail one or two of them, to come and address the situation immediately. Okay. Immediately after this
Okay, Mr. Charles, you go to Minister of Rural Development, the Honorable
Even as I speak, you can go to my ministry and speak with my permanent secretary or Engineer Ibok, who is the Director of Electrical Engineering Services.
Okay.
Even as I speak.
Okay. Mr. Charles, you have heard that you've got a very direct access to the Commissioner on the issue of the transformer along Ekpanya Road, that arrest attention will be given on the spot. Immediately on the spot. Honorable Commissioner, are you fulfilled of all what you are saying? If I want to...
Well, what I want to add is that, look, anybody, you cannot desecrate an office, you cannot abuse an office, and then still want to occupy that office. Yes, everybody has the right to aspire or to do this, but let us not abuse the office of the governor, abuse the person of the governor, just because we want a governorship. Because that's what some people are doing. Don't abuse. God cannot allow you to taste of something which you don't even have value. We must respect the person of the governor. We must show regard and recognize that he is called for that service.
This is what he said by an administrator that is imbued with inmate leadership, gives humanity, integrity, sense of humor, and passion. And we need a detribalized servant leader like you. For Bible State. Well, I think we are still serving under the
I'm still serving under him and under His Excellency, and I always say it. Let God's will be done, not for an individual, but for the whole state.
Okay. Honorable Commissioner, what's your advice to the youths and elders? And as we are moving into a very turbulent political period, the youths, most of the youths are distracted into tribalized sentiments and all those things. Even our elders also. We are moving into a very sensitive period that should teleguide our political history. Well, what's your advice?
Incidentally, I'm an optimist. I believe our Creator loves Akwa Ibom State. On 2nd of January, all of us will gather at Ibobo grounds to pray and beseech and accept that the affairs of this state shall be guided, shall be protected by the Almighty Father. That prayer should transcend all aspects of activities. Yes, youths, some of them unemployed, but it's good to inform them that as announced, the Civil Service Commission is carrying out interview, and I hope at the end of the day, a good number of the youths will be taken off the streets. And even late last year, interview for teachers, for those who want to be teachers, were also conducted. And I hope by the end of the day, when the result of the interview, the various results are published, many of the youths will be taken off the street. But in terms of the talking about those who are tribalized, well, to me, it's a matter of misinformation. Some are not well informed. And that's why people like us should have the courage to come out and tell the youth, look, we have a leader. Let's look up to our leader. When in the Bible, whenever people used to look up to their leader, they prospered. When the children of Israel look up to Moses, they prospered. And you see, Rome was not built in a day. The level of decay, the level of decay have emerged, and His Excellency the Governor has done exceedingly well. We should have faith in him, encourage him, because let us not deceive ourselves. When you encourage your leader, you propel him to do more. Yeah. Let us encourage our leader and be firm, be sincere enough in offering a piece of advice. Ask questions where you need to ask questions. Don't presume. Don't say, oh, I already know. Ask questions. Make inquiries. And let us trust. Let us have trust and confidence in our leadership, in the leadership of this state.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. I think before you go, we may have a word for the political class also. Okay, I'll leave it.
Political class. Yes, I'm a politician. My advice for us politicians is that God's will has been done in Akpabio State. We should pray that God's will shall continue to be done in the state. Let us not begin to act as if we can play God. The moment we begin to play God, then we are missing the point.
I think we've heard it all from the Honorable Commissioner for Rural Development, Chief Barrister Effiong Obia. He has said it all, that we should key into the vision of uncommon transformation, that the governor is always prepared to lead us rightly, and he has done before, and we should not play God. We should allow every decision the Almighty God that is there to take decisions for us. Thank you, Honorable Commissioner, for finding time to be part of this program, and we believe that you continue to serve the people well, your capacity as the Honorable Commissioner, and also in future in any other capacity that God will take you to. Thank you very much for finding time to be part of this program. Well, that's where we are doing the question as far as this special segment of the program is concerned. And I hand over the time now to Gladys.
I don't know what you've been through in your life. It doesn't matter who told you that you'll never make it. Yes, you can be a superwoman or a superman.